What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to talk about AMC, GME, as well as the broader market. After that we're going to check the options flow for all three of them. So today AMC was up for 9.75% for the day. It had a high of $19.55. As we can see, the average volume on AMC is around 48.93 million, but today's volume was around 39.47 million. So this is a little bit confusing. The volume is not close enough to the average volume. Still the AMC is going up. It is more aligned towards the market makers. Now these market makers, they can see your short position as well as the long position. They can see your call options as well as your put option. What I know from my personal experience, due to the fear of Russia and Ukraine, a lot of people were having the put positions on the entire broader market. AMC and GME were along with them. From last 2-3 days we have been experiencing the AMC stock has been going up. The only reason behind it is this, that there were a lot of put positions in AMC and GME, and the market makers are hedging those positions. Nothing else. There is no news out of AMC. Most likely they're going to drive down the price back to where it was, until unless there is some sort of a big volume or big momentum or a news comes towards the stock. Then only we can see some sort of a significant upward momentum into AMC. The rest, this is all just temporary. There is no news. Even the today's volume was lower than the average volume. Still the stock price went up almost 9.75% for the day, which is just completely ridiculous. Now let's come over to GME. As we can see, GME was up for 7.75% for the day. It had a high of $127.23. Now when we have a look at the average volume, it's around 3.12 million, and today's volume was around 1.96 billion. But what we see over here today is this, that the today's volume was lower than the average volume. Still the stock price went up. So this is just getting completely out of control. Now the same thing applies to the GME as well. There were a lot of put positions that were established throughout the last week, and the market maker are just hedging those positions, nothing else. This is a temporary spikes that you are experiencing in GME as well as AMC, until unless there is some news or there is some sort of a big volume come into these two stocks, then only these two stocks can experience upward momentum. Now let's come over to the SPY. As we know, the SPY was up for 1.61% for the day. It had a high of $446.28. And as we know already, the situation seems to be like diffusing a little bit in Europe. But I'm a little bit skeptic about it, as we really don't know so far what Mr. Putin is thinking right now. He might be having some sort of a game plan towards it. Right now, it seems to be like they are backing out from Ukraine in order to show there is some sort of a peace and we are not going to go for a war. But it just doesn't make no sense. You bring out such a big army and then you just back off without doing anything and without coming to any kind of a conclusion that what's going to happen. Now, this morning, there was some news coming out from Ukraine that they are not going to be a part of NATO, which was the main concern for Putin. So the SPY was definitely affected by that. There was an upward momentum into the SPY when there is a relief in the market. Now we still have a lot of things on the side. We have that Fed rate hike that's going to happen next month in the March, and we still have to wait and see what is going to be the inflation number for next month, which will be announced on the March 10th. That's what going to decide how much the interest rate spike the Fed is going to make. Like I mentioned, what basically was happening is right in front of you. There were a lot of put that's been established throughout the week on AMC. So these market makers are basically hedging these positions. I can say that when I look at the options flow for today, again there the whales are onto the bearish side. When I bring down the premium a little bit, I can see there were a lot of call options buying happening throughout the day. The rest, there was nothing suspicious coming out of the options flow. Now GME is the same thing as well. There were a lot of put buying happening since last few days, and these market makers are basically hedging those positions because the put ratio has gone way too much high as compared to the call side. So they were just hedging these positions. That's why they let the price go up a little bit. Even if the volume was not even close to the average volume, still the price of AMC and GME went up. This seems to be like perfect manipulation that's happening in the stock market. Now let's have a look at the options flow for the SPY. There were a lot of fear in the market. I can see a lot of big whales, those who were betting a huge amount of money. They were all on to the put size. You can see for yourself yesterday, everybody was just planning on to the downside for the SPY. Now, this is very huge amount of money that was involved. We can see 20 million, 50 million, and everything is in over a million. So all of them were on to the bearish side. And what happened today is exactly what was planned by these market makers, that these individuals, when they place their bets onto the bearish side, they're going to turn the switch on to the upside. Even if the volume is not good enough, people are still scared of buying any stock, putting their money into the stock market, because anything can change significantly towards the downside. So people are scared a little bit. Now the investors are making some bets onto the call side, but it doesn't make any sense. By looking at the options flow, everybody was onto the bearish side, but just on the news that the Russia is backing off a little bit, a lot of people started buying again call option. But we just have to wait and see what's going to happen in few coming days. Though we know next month we are having the Fed meeting, and they are having their final decision to be coming out regarding the interest rate on the 16th of March. The rest, there was nothing suspicious coming out of the options flow for the SPY for today. Hope so you like my video. Please like and subscribe my channel, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers.